There is no proving it's wrong. You can't.
Right. You begin with that. It's a premise. Natural law.
Well, no. There's no absolute. There's no like abject morality.
You just said it's wrong to commit murder.
So he just said, right, that there's no object. Meanwhile, this whole time he's been talking about the reality of things, and now he denies reality at its core, right? At its foundation. This whole time while talking about, I believe this stuff is real, transgenderism is real, and yet when you dig just one level deeper, it's like, well, what's real about this stuff? It's like, no, nothing's real. Yeah, it's a game. It's this whole thing. Postmodernism is just a philosophical game.
To me.
But not to me. I agree with you.
I can accept that it's relative and not objective.
You previously said it was we can agree on fundamental things. Murder is wrong.
We can agree. That's just.
Why do we agree?
I guess we both agree murder is wrong.
Why?
I don't know how you can. I guess because God told you that's wrong. But for me,
well, we can agree. It's also from the natural law.
Well, both selfishly, it's good for me to agree that legally it should be illegal because that incentivizes like a stable society. But also, I have empathy for people.
What?
And I'd like to see them not murdered. So that's my incentive for.
Okay, so the reason why his explanation doesn't work is because he's like, well, the reason it's wrong is because I feel empathy for others, and because I feel empathy for others, that makes murder wrong. But the problem is you can't stop there. That's not the end of the chain, right? So the next question would be, okay, why do you feel empathy for other human beings? And you're like, well, because I kind of value human life. Okay, why do you value human life? Eventually, you get to one of two things. You either get to God, right? You say, well, because God told me. Or two, you get to what's called an axiom. You just say, this is just a value I have and there's no reason for it, right? And for those of you out here who don't think that you have axioms, guess again. We all have them, every single one of us, and there's no such thing as a person that doesn't have what Michael Knowles earlier referred to as first principles. It's just this is what we believe, and there's no other reason except for this is what we believe. A common one is human life has value. Now, a new aged version of that is that human conscious experience has value, but it's still the same thing. It's the same thing. So if you value that, then you'll get from there to having empathy, which will get from there to murder is wrong. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start with an axiom somewhere.